we're going to bring on my friend who I haven't seen in forever, Renee Graziano. Woo woo!
Hey, Brandi. Hi, beautiful. You look wonderful.
So do you. Oh my God. How many years has it been?
Well, first of all, red your color. That color red is beautiful on you. But it has been, wow. I think was that like an 18?
I don't know. I mean,
I think it was, we aired in 19.
Okay. That's like one of the ones that I was very hesitant. It's called Family Boot Camp. Yeah. What was it called?
It's Family Boot Camp on WeTV. Yes.
Yes. So she was there with her two sisters, Lana and Jen, and I was there with my fucking dad, and it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah, we had a very active, we were all very vocal in that house because Amber was on it, Chrissy was on it. We were a very vocal crowd.
It honestly had a really great time until the German Shepherd took me down and I had a concussion.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember. I still show everybody that video because that was one of the exercises for therapy that I was confused about. And then my sisters were, Jennifer started crying. Lana was having a panic attack and I was like, I'll do it. And
yeah, no, it was nuts. I didn't want to do it. And then obviously, I did it and I got killed, but it's fine.
You made it across the line. Nobody else did.
I know. And the dog still attacked me. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what
I'm like, I am not. Yeah, that's what I get, right? My dad was probably like, great, it happened. I have a very special connection with your sister, Lana, and I love Jen too. But Lana and I don't keep in touch with anyone because I just don't. I don't know why. But Lana out of the blue will just text me something really beautiful, like every 6 months, and we'll just text like for a day and then that's it. But how is she doing?
She's good. I actually spoke to her last night. I've been kind of active, moving around the States, so I don't get to see everybody as much. Now I'm going to go back home this Friday to visit everybody. But Lana she's well. The restaurant is amazing. She's doing really good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And you recently did Celebrity Big Brother UK and you came in third. That's amazing.
Yeah, I did that one. That was years ago, actually. Yeah. Well, maybe they just showed it. I don't know. But I know that was before Family Boot Camp.
It was right before because we talked about it.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Because you did it too, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, we both did it.
Yes.
I think we've done every reality show between the two of us that could possibly be done.
Yes.
But yes. So tell me what's happening. I know you have your 2 books. You have this new podcast, which is, tell us about it. It's putting the real in reality.
It's The Real in Reality with Renee Graziano. And I've never been one to not been real. You know what I mean? I always make a joke like the only thing fake about me is my nose. But yeah.
But is it fake if you just make it smaller? Or is it just, because that makes me crazy.
Well,
it's not fake. It's not like you have an implant in there.
No, but it was a little bit remodeled. Like we picked my tip up. I looked growing up.
But it's not fake.
No, it's not fake. But I always make that joke about me. So what's The Real in Reality with Renee Graziano is just basically me just keeping it real and talking about, some issues that women go through right now. I have other people on as well, which I asked you to be my guest, but it's really like female empowerment because it's so funny, like coming from a man's world and only really trusting men where I come from in my world, and then reaching a point where a lot of the men that I've picked are not trustworthy at all. So I've made more friends with females. Yes, you understand what I mean, Well,
our pickers are off. We like the bad boys, and we want to believe the lie because we want to because
we want to be in love.
We'd rather be with them. Yeah, we'd rather be with them and believe the lie than be alone. And it's sad, but it's just true.
It absolutely is. And I think for me, though, I've gotten to a point. So I came out to California to do trauma work and the last relationship, which he would get no airtime at all, no matter what I do, because he was such no good. So I came out to do a lot of trauma work, why I would stay in a very unhealthy relationship. And I'm starting to look back at, today was a EMDR, also like a grounding session, like where you just have to, plant your feet and find this safe space. So I'm just trying to really work on myself. There's a lot of things. Go ahead.
No, I think that also, I mean, everyone knows from the shows your struggles with sobriety. And I feel like when it's almost like you're addicted to the man, it's like another addiction. That's how I feel, because like addicted to love. Yes. Like I would rather believe the lie and just be with him.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you say that, because Dr. Drew says like that about me. So before any, and my addiction is a Xanax because it's a numb thing for me. So before Xanax, it's definitely love. Growing up with my father, it was power. There's some self-entitlement not self-entitlement. It's just entitlement issues. Self-entitlement's a little bit different. So I'm learning like, okay, so that is the addiction. And it leads me to want to numb out when someone hurt. Right. Betrayal is a huge thing. So, and you understand what I mean when I talk about betrayal. It's that feeling of, it almost feels like rejection. For me,
it is.
Well, it's not, you know what I'm learning, Brandi? We're not being rejected. They're just not good for us. They have to go.
I feel like we feel like that, and it has nothing to do with us. It has to do with them. You're right.
Yes.
And like the second it happens though, you feel like, what is wrong with me? Like, what can I do better? Why am I not good enough? And then that's like circles, like, out of control a little bit. And then you come like I went and got Botox. I went and got a new vagina. I was like, I'm going to be the best me I can be. And then I realized it wasn't about me. It was just about him and needing, constant validation from other women. So, but it took me a while to figure that out, because you do feel like, what's wrong with me? I'm being rejected.
Absolutely. I mean, I had my first relationship when I was really young. He ended up raising his hands to me, and my father got me right. I didn't, I also grew up where you don't tell. And then this feeling of guilt, like, oh my God, I know the consequences from where I come from, what's going to happen. I didn't want that guilt. However, my father took me out of that immediately. And then I ended up marrying my, obviously my ex-husband now, but he was no good. And then the last relationship again, and it's been, got my nose fixed. He would say, you're fat, you're ugly. Liposuction, tummy tuck, they had fat transfer. So, I mean, it's just been an overwhelming feeling to feel that I'm not good enough when I can curse, right?
Yeah, fuck yes.
Fucking great. It's definitely not me. It's the person I'm picking, the narcissist, the insecurity that they possess. I think like women like us, we want to be loved. So we also want to fix. And we go, So we go for the guy that needs to be fixed, and they end up breaking a part of us, and they don't break us. They try to break the spirit.
Yeah. And I think that ultimately we do know better. Like we know better going into it. And so like, that's what I want to fix. I want to fix, why do I still do it? Why is it the same behavior? Like I want a bad boy still. I'm not attracted to like a mangina.
No, I know that the bad boy thing is one thing, but the narcissistic behavior, that's the other. You could have a bad boy that's a nice guy. I mean, and I grew up with a lot of guys that are nice. Maybe their line of work was off. Obviously it was, but they were still nice. I'm realizing that that's what this EMDR is teaching. It's like going back to the trauma that causes us to feel unworthy or not good enough. And today I identified, wow, it was these two girls in grammar school that bullied me and used to tell me how ugly I was. And I was an awkward child, but I'm fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
I can
kids
say
are
that
fucking
today.
horrible. Yeah, you are.
Thank you.
And like you always have been. And no matter what, like what we feel, we have to go and do. People are fucking mean. People that put other people down like that, that's an inside job. They're fucked up, because now I would never like hate on someone's looks or say, except for my own, I'd be like, oh, I'm a little chubby today. But you know what I mean? Like that is the lowest of low. Like who the fuck do you think you are to make somebody, like they want to keep you down, make you insecure so that you don't leave them.
So they feel better.
It's such
Absolutely.
It's such a shit show. And in the moment you don't realize it.
No, but coming from reality TV, both you and I have been in positions where we've talked shit. And today I could tell you, like, I'm not going to pick on, like, I don't need to pick. I could point out if you're doing something to me. However, I don't need to pick on you because it's not nice. No. You know what I mean? It's not nice. And I've been not nice at times, but I'm realizing in relationships, though, for me, it's the second you make me feel some type of way, my mouth, you know what I mean? Like I just go and it's not nice. But shouldn't have did it to me first. No, I'm joking. I remember
I lived with you for like 3 weeks. So yes, I know your mouth and you can go. I was like, I thought I had a big mouth.
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. But I'm trying, I'm practicing, and sobriety is important. That's for me.
It's of course. Over COVID, I found myself drinking more than I've ever drank in my life. And because I really thought the world was ending, I really did. I gained a bunch of weight. I self-sabotage. I burned my skin, and it's like COVID really fucked me up and my mental health as well. So now that COVID, we're kind of on the other side of it. I'm like, I want to complain so much about what I did to myself, but then I'm trying to find the positive and how do I grow from this? And
that's heavy.
I don't know.
Well,
I think a lot of my friends are drinking more than they've ever drank. My Xanax was up to 2 a night.
And I was addiction is at its highest. Addiction and the people that were not even doing this, drinking or anything, started drinking. Absolutely. COVID was absolutely horrible what it did to families financially. People that never did a drug or drank started to, and that's what should have been looked at way more. Like, what's happening to the world? I don't do like the politic or the religion or the stuff like that. But
not me either.
What are they doing? What's going on in this world that we are?
The news is like I was so anxious. I watched the news every fucking day, and all it did to put me like in another level of anxiety. Like I couldn't function. I was so like broken, broken and broke, but
everybody
it was rough.
I'm sorry to hear.
It was like no one was working.
I'm sorry to hear about the mental trauma, the what we do to ourselves. And I'll talk to you off camera. I got
I'm in such a better headspace now. Like I'm like, okay, like, kind of makes me look forward to going, okay, I have to live this life. I just lost 2 years. So it's time to start living again, but being careful
and being easier on ourselves. Like it is, I think we're our worst enemy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that person can't do it to me. I'm just going to do it to myself. Which is absolutely, it's worse when you break it down. That we would do bad things to ourselves and not allow the other person. I mean, the people and I'll speak on myself, the people that I've dated, I should have looked at them like, why do I want you? Like, what are really so you're nice to me. A lot of people are nice to me. What are you bringing to the table? I'm the table. So what are you putting on it? You know what I mean? Like, and that's where I think we have to like pay way more attention.
Do you feel like because you've been on TV for so long, like everyone knows who you are, like that is like do you have trust issues? Do they want to date you? Because, when you go out, everyone's like, oh, that's Renee, or because they want to be on camera or they want that pseudo famous situation.
Well, absolutely. This last person definitely, used me for context, used me, to try to be in a better financial position, not off of me, because day one, I'm like, I would never give a man money. I would never do anything. And it's not about this last person per se. It's really about the men that I pick in general that are just no good. But yes, absolutely. People want to, piggyback off you. And my thing is as a man, you have to come with your own. So if I got to give you something, we could earn together, but you're not going to live off me or anything that I've done in my life, because I've given so many parts of me, and we experienced that on the show together. But Mob Wives, I mean, I've relapsed on television. I don't even fight, Brandi. I don't raise my hands.
But you're 100% real. Like I'm so glad that you're saying like you and that is a great name for your podcast, but like you weren't afraid to show the good, bad, the ugly. And I'm not either. And I really respected that, like in the house, just living, and it got ugly for all of us. Ooh. But it was nice to know that you weren't like playing for the cameras. Cause I see so many reality shows now that are so unauthentic. Like they all seem like fake to me now.
Oh, it's so different from when we first started. And I think it's the individual, like you've given yourself to the show, your show. I've given myself to my shows, or any shows we've been on, I should say. And then, but being real sometimes is also, us being loyal to a fault to ourselves. Like, I can't think of what I read. Right now. Maybe it'll come back to me, but it's more or less on the lines of, just because something enlightens you doesn't mean it has to be shared, or just because you go through it doesn't mean you have to give it up too. This is who we are, and
I don't think at this point that we're going to be changing our numbers. I said, I'm going to change our number. I'm going to go do the show. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to be like so nice to everyone. And they're going to be so shocked. Like second day.
Not happening.
I was in a fight. I was like, you bitch.
Absolutely.
It was just, I can't, like at this point, I'm 49 years old. I'm not going to change my number. Like it's not happening. People are like, why don't you think before you speak? I'm like, oh my God, don't you think I would have done that like a long time ago if I could? Like, shut up.
Right. That's something that I got to learn to do, because it's just, it's emotion. I'm emotionally based. So anything that someone says, I don't have that. There's no filter. There's nothing between, you know what I mean? You just jump, and that is like a defense mechanism, because we're also,
we're defensive. I mean, like we are good until somebody comes for us. And then it's like, what's that word? We're reactionary. I don't think that we just go after people for no reason. Like, no, definitely if someone comes for me or my family or my friends, like I'm going to react.
Absolutely. I found myself in a situation yesterday that someone made a judgment about someone. And I was like, did you know before her relapse, she had 30 years? Like, and I said, I wish I could defend my own. And it's not just sobriety with me, because sobriety is more than, popping a pill. Sobriety is not reacting. Sobriety is no anger. Sobriety is, like tone down the entitlement issue. Like that for me is sobriety. So I think in general, Brandi, we're also very fortunate. You know what I mean? We're fortunate women.
Absolutely.
We're beautiful. We're smart. We're still going after all these years. I mean, when did you start reality TV?
2010. So it's been 12 years.
Yep. Same
I'm
as
still, thankfully working. And, a lot of people can't say that, but I think because you're so authentic and you are willing to share the ugly, which a lot of women they want to pretend like everything's great. And I'm like, you guys, if the camera's there and you have skeletons, they will come out no matter what at some point. You can't keep up the facade of being like, I'm so perfect. And I mean, as you watch the shows, everyone's cracking, everyone's spiraling out, the Erica Janes, this, that, like Jen Shaw is like, it's showing it, the truth comes out.
Yeah. Well, I always say my closet doors are open and my skeletons are well dressed. So go for them. Pick the one that you want and we'll discuss it. It's been everything from watching my ex-husband, putting my father away. It's the dating, it's the addiction, it's the depression. For me, it's been all of those.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't get out of, I remember doing Mob Wives. After the ex-husband did what he did, I couldn't get out of bed for probably almost a week, that my son had to be like, Ma, you have to shower. I couldn't even get out of the bed, and the cameras were there for it. I was like, no, this is what today is. Film it.
Yeah, no, this is your reality.
Yeah. And that's where the show comes in, the real and reality, because it's like, what is real and what is, my real is my reality television, my real reality. And like, it is what it is, and I hate that saying it is what it is, but it is. You know, and how are your children?
They're sayings for a reason.
Yes.
They're so good. Jake is going to be 15, and then Mason went away to college. So I have a little empty nest situation happening.
Oh yeah. That's a hard one.
It felt like I lost my best friend, you know, because he was always like hanging out with me, and his friends are always over. And I felt like one of the kids, but I still didn't let them do anything bad. But
of course.
It was just hard because he, you know, he was he's very needy with me. He was my baby. And so now, you know, I have just the one. I mean, I have both of them still, but one at home half the time. And I moved to fucking Calabastard, which is super fucking isolating in itself.
Okay.
But I did it for Jake because Jake's friends are out here. The school's out here. Okay. And, you know, he has a couple years left. So I figured I will take one for the team.
Yes.
And move out there. And then I will go back to where we have civilization in 2 years.
I'm a grandmother. I have 2 grandkids.
Oh my God.
Yes. My son is 27. He's married. I have 2 grandkids. One of my
amazing.
grandson, Anthony John, is going to be 5. And my granddaughter, Olivia Jade, is 16.
Oh, I love that name.
Yes. They're I just got a tattoo. It says, love my AJs, because my son's AJ and my 2 grandkids and my daughter-in-law, Andrea, she's an A as well. So yeah, life is very different as a grandmother. Like my grandson thinks I'm out in California. I sent him shells and I told him they were magical. And he asked me where I got them. And I said, from the mermaids. He goes, Nene, you a mermaid? And I was like, yes, and a superhero. Because we play superhero. And I'm like, yes, Nene is a mermaid and a superhero.
You are though. You are a superhero. But that doesn't matter. That makes you even more of a superhero. Because like it does. Like a lot of people don't get help or don't ask for it or don't do it. And they're just like, fuck it. And that's lame. A lot of people do it, but I'm just saying to be just yourself and know what's going on with you and be able to say, I need help right now. Yeah. I think that makes you a bigger superhero than most people.
Thank you. The transparency, like I'm transparent. And I think this relapse that I had, I got into a very bad car accident January 4th.
I know. I saw it. I didn't want to ask you about it because I wanted this to bring up, you know, women and stuff, but I didn't want to be like a little bitchy, but
it's okay.
I saw that and I was like, oh fuck. Well, so tell us about it.
I will. So this is what's funny. In my house, if you're arrested, that means you go to jail. So I didn't I'll explain it. It was a black ice. I have the letter actually from the DA's office. So I was arrested and never charged. Hence that's why they let me go. I didn't think that was arrested. I didn't realize, like, I'm like waiting to be charged. Right. So I made an ignorant comment. Like, I didn't get arrested. No, I most definitely did get arrested. I got detained. I believe it's called detained, which I guess is arrested. Right. Never charged. I guess. Because there was
if you're not charged, like, yeah.
Well, you know what? The DA's office put a search warrant on my blood. Like, they just don't like us So it's a pending situation. I'm perfectly fine with it. I gave them my blood. I did everything I was supposed to do. I flipped the car. It was really, So I remember getting myself out because I remember the road I was on. And then somewhere in between there, the hospital, and then getting released. And I have a complete blank.
Probably you were in shock. I mean, that's a crazy thing I've never flipped a car. And it's like, Jesus.
Yes. I got hit when I was 17. Somebody hit me head on. And it was the car flip. I mean, knock on wood. Like
you are a superhero.
I can't even explain to you the feeling of gratitude today. After the 4th happened, I had my relapse at the end of the month, a very bad one. I was being gaslit. I was put in these situations. I thought I was losing my mind. I did. I'm not even going to lie about it. Because this person would say something to me and then something to somebody else and then text them my messages. Of course I'm cursing you out. Of course I sound nuts. I relapsed. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm responsible. That's on me. Taking the pill is on me. What you did to me, that's going to be your karma one day. And God will handle that because my Father's in heaven. So he saw it. You know what I mean? I could just say, you're lucky he's not on earth.
Well, he's already your angel because, I mean, the fact that you got in those car accidents and you're walking away and you're fine is amazing. I mean, that's a big, I mean, people don't walk away from flipping cars generally.
No,
so
every
he's already looking after you.
I know that. Every airbag, I pulled myself out of the car. I remember getting like it's kind
you remember getting out where you're like panicky? Or like it's just shock.
I'm going to say the feelings, I can't identify to it, like what it was, but something got me out of that car. Something got me out. And I can only believe for me, I believe in God and I know my father. But I have, a lot of people in my family have passed many years ago. I believe that they pulled me out. They pulled me out of it. And then I only know by pictures that were in the news what was happening. Like, when I went to go get the car, absolutely. Oh, wait, I did tell, ready? I told, when I was at the hospital, they told my son, because my son came and the police officer said, is your mother okay? Because she asked us to flip the car back over. She had to go home. My son goes, yeah. I go, what?
Yeah, that's normal.
I didn't even know my son was there. I don't remember that. They had to tell me things that happened. But then I did the doctors. On the 21st, we filmed it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it aired when it did afterwards. And I think I don't sleep, Brandi. I have a severe insomnia from trauma. So I can go like 3 days. Like I really, it's bad. So Dr. Drew and Dr. Andrew from the doctors, they were like, we got to get you a sleep doctor. After that, and what the other person was doing sent me over the edge. Like, cause that was my reality check to hear. So I got so defensive in that interview that afterwards I had text Drew and I was like, I am so sorry. Like I trust you so much. I can't even believe that I got that defensive, but it was a reality check. Like this is happening. I had to look at my life and realize that I haven't made although I got clean in 20, my progress, I wasn't making any more progress. Dating somebody, dating somebody that's unhealthy. The first sign of the red flag, I should have removed myself. But I was in this state of, I'm 52. Nobody wants me. I settled. I could say it.
I think we all do that. I did that. I've done that a couple of times just because I don't want to grow old alone, and then when you settle, you have to be careful what you settle for because I just like settling's not an option for me anymore because I've done it twice and it doesn't ever work out.
No.
And because it looks good on paper, everything looks great. And then you're just like, I'm not in love with this person, I don't know.
Well, I believed the person. That's the sad part. I actually believed it. Like I believed, I truly did. And then in November, I started to see the signs and I chose not to look. And it's okay because you know what? Hindsight is 20/20.
It's life.
And
it's just life.
Yes. I'm going to be single I can tell you, until God or my father come down with a big sign and say, this is him. I don't want to date. Right. Like I have my grandkids, and you say you don't want to be alone. Let me tell you something. You will never be alone. When your kids have children, you will never, they're the greatest. This love is different than your own child. It's this, I think for me, when I had AJ, I was 20, just turning 24. I couldn't see the innocence. Now looking at my grandkids, I could see this innocence that is so precious and their love is so pure. It's so different. It's so different.
I think it's the course though, isn't it? Like we're so selfish when we're young and, when we have our babies, we're just getting through our days.
Yep.
And then our parents have that empty nester, situation. Then we have we have the kids and then we can pass them off to the parents and the grandparents are so happy to have them because they can now appreciate it. Because when I had my kids, when I was younger, fucking my days were so hard. I just wanted to get through the days, get through the bath time. Right. And I didn't have time to appreciate it. Yeah. And then I think that as grandparents, that's what we'll get back. We'll get that time to actually just appreciate it and have that unconditional love and be more patient and not be so selfish. Like, what about me? Because it's not about you anymore. But when you're young and having kids, you know, it's hard. You're still selfish. It's like,
yeah, because it's about you. And because we're also evolving in the world where we're starting to see it, you know. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, always did everything around us. And I look at her and I'm like, did you have a life? You know what I mean? Like I wanted a life still. I was young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're still selfish. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's okay. And that's why we have this cycle where when we're grandparents, we get to then appreciate what we didn't appreciate when we're new parents, you know?
100%. 100%. But you know, I don't
want any babies right now, guys. No babies.
Oh, I
not
can't.
ready for that.
Those days are over for me. I had a full hysterectomy at.
Oh no! I meant no babies for my kids. I'm not having babies either. I'm saying I'm not ready for grandchildren just yet because they are 15 and 18.
Oh
and
no, absolutely not. No. AJ was he's 27, so he was 23 like me when he had Anthony, and yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It is, and it's going to give you a different fulfillment than anybody ever could in your life. And that's another reason why I'm sober.
Right. Because you're not babysitting grandkids if you're not sober, because no one wants grandma with wine.
No.
Or grandma with Xanax.
Absolutely not.
No.
And my son's type, like, you know, my son would know if something was off with me and he would just be like, are you okay? Like he has gotten angry.
Yeah.
And there was a period where we weren't even like jiving. He didn't like the person that I was involved with. And he just was like, stop. And now since I've come out to California, we started talking like February. Well, he was always there, but the relationship is getting better. So February 4th, I was just like, I'm out of here. And he was like, good. And we talk every day. He started his painting company. I posted it I'm in a way better space. And you know, Pluto, do you know about Pluto? It's like the first time.
I don't.
Okay. So it's the first time in like 250,000 years that Pluto is around. So it's the year of, read about it. It's today. 2/22. Read about it. And it's the year, and 23 is for the year of prosperity. So the money's coming back. The happiness in those levels, but read about the change and, you know, getting rid of old habits. It talks about it was just, I was reading it before I got here and I was like, you know what? I'll be positive. You know,
everyone's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. Everyone that's having a bad day fucking tells me that. And I'm like, is fucking Mercury always in fucking retrograde? Because I'm sick of hearing this because you're having a bad fucking day. Like, I don't know anything about it, but don't put your fucking shit on me.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
I just know about it because I was reading it on somebody's page and I was like, this is...
No, I didn't mean like that. It gives me anxiety when people say shit like that.
Well, I don't know where Mercury's been. Absolutely. Because listen, they say when it's a full moon, people act different. I believe that. I do
too.
Yeah.
I put my crystals out. I like charge them.
Yeah.
Why? My producer's laughing at me. Whatever. Fuck face. So you're going back to Jersey soon?
This Friday, I'm flying back. I got a little cameo in a movie with Justina Valentine, she's like my I Love Lucy. She just from Wildin' Out, and she just gives me such great energy. Like I watch her, I laugh my ass off. I just appreciate her Instagram, her videos. So it's gonna be fun. It's a very, very small because I get all nervous if I have to read. Teresa Giudice is in it.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah. So her and
are you guys friends?
We're yes, I would say absolutely. But friends where we go out to dinner and stuff like that. No, but I have tremendous respect for her. Listen, she so stands up to me to do that bit in jail. Like she's gangster as fuck.
And
Absolutely.
then coming out and like having another glow up and then having a love and like, she looks amazing. She's not bitter. Like I would be so fucking bitter. I don't know how, and I know her. We've done a ton of work together.
Right.
I love her. She's always positive and she's always like she's just a happy fucking person and she's a good soul.
Yes.
But if that was me, I would be putting key in some people's cars. I don't know if I could handle the way she definitely handled it, especially losing her parents while she's, her mom while she's inside. I would kill my ex-husband for causing that for me missing that. And she's so forgiving.
She does that yoga. I think she found some sort of energy in that. I mean, my dad passed 2 years ago, and it has, it's made me angry towards my ex-husband in some way, but also,
of course,
you know what I mean? Like more angry. Let me just say more angry.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because it was a cause of somebody else. But at the end of it, see, in my house, we grew up where if the guy said sign it, we did. We didn't read.
That's what I did the same exact thing. And I know that's what Teresa did. Eddie put shit in front of me and all I did was sign it.
Absolutely.
Because I trusted, I took my name off the house. I did not know that I did that because I just signed. And then I found out later that I signed some document. I'm like, well, I sign everything. So I understand that when people are like, oh my God, you don't read. I'm like, no, you trust the person that you love, the father of your children, and you sign what they put in front of you. Well, so I just thought it was really shit that she had to go away. Like it was shit.
I think maybe she had to go through, and I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe she went through that so she could get to where she is now. Cause her glow up is on like 100. Like her
body looks amazing. Her everything, like she's got it like all now. And I think, gosh, I just don't want to go to prison for my glow up.
No,
I just don't think I can handle it.
You know what? She taught us something to read before we saw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
We need more lawyers.
I got that memo. I got that memo in my divorce. I was like, oh, really? I took my name off the house. Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
But yes, I do read everything now. I do need reading glasses, so that fucking sucks.
Me too.
But I really love catching up with you, and thank you so much for being here, Renee.
You're welcome.
You're awesome. And I would love to see you when you come back out.
Absolutely. I come back on Tuesday.
We'll have a girls' night.
I would love it. I'm gone for like 4 days and I'm back. And thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful to see you.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radicals, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.